Hey there everybody, it's TheGoofQueen here, and welcome back to episode 4 of Vanilla Minecraft. In the last episode, we were able to get our wheat, carrot, and potato farm done. It's over in that direction, and it's still doing really well for us. I haven't been able to go and get some more, get much more bone meal yet, but I'll do that anytime I need to go get more crops grown so that I can get more emeralds going. But right now we're doing fine on emeralds. The thing that we're not doing so great on is wood. Now I've been thinking about this. We have plenty of spruce because I just went on a spruce harvesting spree. Spruce harvesting spree. Sorry, I made myself laugh. But we don't have much acacia wood. Cassia. Don't have much oak, don't have much birch, don't have much of anything other than that. So, if you can guess from me saying that, this episode is going to focus on a tree farm. However, I'm not going to build one of the slime block or slime piston powered tree pushers that can make a big old log of tree and then you just run through with your axe and cut it all down. Because while I like those and while they are very efficient, I'm kind of hoping to give this desert village a narrative and sort of make it, you know, an actual, like, village, you know? So you have your potion brewer, you have your food source, you got your sugarcane, all that kind of stuff. This I'm hoping to turn into, obviously right now it's a trading depot, but I have some plans for this that I'm looking forward to enacting relatively soon. But anyway, I went into a testing world and I created just a very basic setup that I think I'm going to like, and I'm going to run this direction. There was a creeper over here a minute ago, so I'm going to try and keep an eye out for him. But I'm thinking that where we're going to put this tree farm, yes, it's a little far away, hint for what I want to turn that building into, but I want to come over to this savanna biome. Because here, you know, trees actually grow naturally, so within the narrative story, it would make sense that they would put their tree harvesting in this kind of area as opposed to the desert, where only cacti grow. So we're hoping to put it over here. I've got some inventory in my materials. I have some materials in my inventory, there we go, to hopefully get ready and going on a fence design, but I'm hoping to cut away first to show you guys what I've come up with for the design, so I'll go ahead, hop over into that testing world, and be right back. Alright everybody, we have reached my creative testing world. You can see a few odds and ends scattered around in here, but this is what we are interested in right now. This is the tree farm. Less of a tree farm, more of a tree setup, I guess. But you've basically got your cross-shaped design, plus sign or X depending on the angle you're looking at it, with the dispenser in the middle and 4 pieces of dirt around to the side, with kind of a cool design in here. But basically how I hope this will work, and how it has worked in here, is you plant your saplings on the dirt. You can either bone meal them or go ahead and just run away and come back at some later time, and then you cut them down. And using a button, which is currently under this device, but will end up somewhere on the side, of course, you dispense the water, turn it on, and leave it so that you can run away while the water collects the saplings. There are hoppers under here that you can see, hopper into a chest, so that it collects all the saplings. And I really like this because it's sort of tileable in a sense. You can see I've laid some other chests out here in this area and in this area. And that just means that I would be able to put several of them in sort of a compact area if that's what I like, if that's what I want to do. And I like that idea because then I could have one of them reserved for, you know, this one could be birch and that one could be spruce and this one could be oak or something like that. So that would be kind of neat. But it will also depend on our spatial requirements, you know, our spatial needs. So now that we've seen this, I'm going to go ahead, start laying in that fencing area in the actual server world, and I'll let you guys know when I've made some progress. I have found a problem with our wheat farm. I was just walking past here, grabbing some more materials to go on and keep working on our project, and I heard the dispensers going off, and I said to myself, what in the heck is going on over here that the dispensers are running? And I popped my head in here, and for some reason it never occurred to me that villagers can jump into minecarts. So, as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villagers in here, at least. Those are the ones that I've found. And I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about this. For right now, I think I'm just going to leave it, but maybe I'll have to put some fence gates or, put some fencing with one gate in here so that they can't get back into that area. But, oh man, I tell ya, I came in here and I saw that guy going back and forth and just kind of sat here in silence for a moment going, how did I not think about that? Oh, Minecraft. Alright, everybody, the fenced-in area is officially complete, at least for the meantime. I decided to go with sandstone with the spruce fence because I liked kind of the juxtaposition of those two colors. For a little while, I considered making it spruce wood with birch fencing, and while I think it looks better facing this direction, because this direction, the sandstone kind of blends in with the environment beyond it. From the forward direction, I definitely like this one better, so we're going to go with it. I also inadvertently trapped a pig in here, so he's going to be our little mascot. But anyway, it's actually a pretty large area. I think I counted from the widest portion back here, and it's about 64 blocks wide. And probably half that, maybe, deep. I didn't actually count that out because this back part gets pretty hilly. But I didn't want to go knocking everything down yet, because if I can maintain some of the natural grading in here, I think that would be really cool. It would kind of fit with the narrative idea that I'm trying to go for. So I gathered up some materials. I've got some sandstone and some clay, which, as you saw, were the building materials I'm planning on using. And I think I'm going to run around and drop just some of the 19 by 19 crosses, more or less. Just kind of put those in here and see how many I can fit, how much area I'm going to have to flatten, all that kind of stuff. So just sort of get a plan going, get an area kind of designated, and I'll let you guys know when I've got that finished. Alright, everybody, we're back, and I think we have a decent layout going on. If we come straight in from here, we have one set up here. You can kind of see where the dispensers are based on the orange clay. So we have one here, another right here, and these two are kind of close together, but in order to kind of get the most out of our space, we had to do that in certain places, so these two are kind of close together, but there's a third one there, a fourth one up on that hill, and a fifth over here in this corner. And I think starting with 5 will give us plenty of space to grow trees. Each one of these can grow 4 trees, excuse me. So each of these can be responsible for 4 trees of a different type, or if I'm really trying to, if I want to use a bunch of birch for a project or something, I could make all of these birch trees and it would be fine. So if we want to get kind of an aerial view, maybe, let me get some sandstone on my bar since that breaks easier on the way down. But if we want to get sort of an aerial view here, you can kind of see the basic layout here, and I'm thinking I could put either like a little garden area back here or a little house type, for the woodsmith is the only word. Forester, that's the word I want. I was sitting here going woodsmith is the only thing coming to mind, and that's not correct. But we could put a little forester hut back here or something. So this is what we have so far. I'm going to go ahead and lay in the rest of these cross shapes, and I guess I'm going to have to decide whether I want to do one all the way through or just, little bits and pieces of all of them, but we'll see. We'll get them all done. Alright everyone, it appears that a distinct lack of materials has made my decision for me. I was going around trying to add as many of these orange clay blocks to these as I could, see how many I could get done, and I have officially run out of clay, so I'm going to be going on a bit of a clay expedition, see how much more I can get, but I figured I would come back in, show you guys the progress I've made, and, let you know what's going on. So, we have this corner done, and it's got these 5 chests, and each one of these corners will have 5 chests. So I'm gonna need a lot of wood in order to finish this project. See, these don't have the hoppers laid in yet. That doesn't have the clay. These have clay, but I think I ran out. Let's see. There. Okay, yeah, I ran out on this one. I think I had just enough. Oh, yep, ran out right there. So we ran out of clay, but it's alright, it's going just fine. The reason I have these blocks up on here is because when I set the dirt down, I didn't put the sandstone around it immediately, so grass had a chance to grow up over it. And that's not a big deal, it's not really an issue, it was more of a visual thing for me. I was having trouble from a distance or from, placing blocks, remembering which of these, distinguishing this grass block from these grass blocks. But we got that all sorted out, and I'm gonna go on a hunt for some clay and hopefully get this all wrapped up. Alright everybody, we are back. The clay has been acquired, the dye has been applied, and everything is in its place. I seriously underestimated how many resources all of these chests and hoppers were going to use, but fortunately we have that iron farm over in the spawn chunk, so I can just head over there between episodes and restock myself up. But as you can see, we have all 5 of these guys fully geared up and ready to go. The only thing they need now are their water buckets and some glass panes on these corners here to keep the water from going everywhere. So I'm going to work on getting the water in them, getting them prettified up a little bit, and making sure I have the redstone set up. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with the redstone, whether I want it to be a button on the side or a lever that flips them all at one time. That would be pretty complicated since they kind of cover a large area, but I'll be thinking about that, and I'll be working on giving these guys that glass pane final touch, and I'll check back in with you guys when we're all done with that. Alright everybody, everything is set up and working like a charm. As you can tell, we have trees growing all over the place. We have these 2 are oak, this one and that one over there are birch, and then the one in the back on the hilltop is a spruce. Now I can change those up as much as I need. If I'm doing a project and I need tons of birch stairs or something, then I can just change all of these that I want into birch and it'll work just fine. But the basic principle, do I have one that has all 4 trees grown? I do. Perfect. So the basic principle is you come in here like this when they're all grown up, and you chop down all of the wood bits. Collect those up as you can, obviously. You want to keep those so you can start using them for stuff and things. But once you've chopped all those down, you come over here to the button, you press this, and the water comes and flows out, and you can walk away, because all of your saplings, as they fall, will be pushed off to these ends and deposited into these chests. So it works really well. I had to change the bottom into a full glass block instead of a pane, because since the panes only take up a little bit of the block, I was having a bunch of saplings get stuck in the corner and off to the side, and just, it wasn't very efficient. So that's what they're doing, and I'm gonna get rid of this. You may see in my inventory, I have some jack-o'-lanterns, I have some birch leaves, and I have some bones. So the next part of this for me is running around, making sure we have some more of this grass, getting some little bush structures set up, making sure we have enough light in here, because currently the only light in this entire area is coming from these jack-o'-lanterns on each of the devices themselves. I actually just came in here, and one of my friends had been online earlier, and so it was nighttime, And I panicked a little bit because I had visions of me coming in here trying to demonstrate what was going on and getting blown up by a creeper, and I just would not have been a happy camper about that. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, get some more grass put in here, get some bushes set up, some lamps, and that kind of stuff going on, and I'll let you guys know when I have finished this project. Alright, everybody, so I have totally underestimated just how long and how many resources it takes to make actually, semi-decent looking lighting. We've got, there are jack-o'-lanterns hidden under these bushes, there are lamps around here that have glowstone on top of some fence posts, and it's looking pretty good, I think. We've got, there's bone meal on almost every surface, so you've got your bushes with your nice regular flora, is that the word I'm looking for? Got your native plants and kind of stuff around the trees that are growing. Kind of gives it more of a lived-in, natural kind of feel, and less of an, I knocked all of this out so that I could put a tree farm in here. We didn't actually knock that much out, and we put some grass back in, some dirt and grass back in around these corners to keep everything nice and flush, kind of keep it all flat and in the same basic setup that it was. So I think that is a wrap on the tree farm project. It's looking pretty good. I've already gotten a lot of wood for it, so I'm going to have to be looking into a better storage solution than that poor temple over there is currently providing us with. There's just not much room for everything over there. But that is going to be it for this episode, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please hit that like button. And if you really loved it, please make sure to subscribe to the channel for future content. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.